Welcome everybody, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everybody, good day, and welcome to the Link Show. Fantastic to have you with us. My name is Goodwood, alongside Rhoda, and of course, Dabar Muhammad, our deaf interpreter, is here as well. But it is absolutely fabulous to have you at the Link Show. Boy, have I been looking forward to this. Hello, Rhoda.
Hello, welcome back everybody. And I must say we have missed you guys because this is a show we look forward to every year.
Yeah.
And all the information is out there, so this is why we're doing this, the Link Show, for you.
Yeah, and it features everything around Northlink, which is absolutely amazing, because if you don't know it yet, then let me tell you right now, this is the truest fact you will find. When it comes to tertiary institutions, no better, look no further than Northlink College, of course, which is absolutely fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Situated in the Western Cape, and I actually want to tell you this right now, before I forget, because it is fully accredited by the Council of Higher Education and the Department of Higher Education and Training, and the college is quality assured by the South African Council of Higher Education. So I always wanted to say that, and there I have done it. Because I know you're looking at this and thinking, is this going to be my tertiary institution of choice? Well, guess what? You'd certainly come to the right place. And today we're going to answer a lot of questions, because we're actually at a campus.
That's right, we're at the campus. And we always like doing this because you know what? We have to experience it, see it, feel it, so that we can actually tell you exactly what we're experiencing as well. And today's topic, I might as well jump into it. It is all about Online Learning Center. And this is in collaboration with the Student Hub. So you know what? Very exciting because times and things has changed and everything is going online.
Yeah, now things have definitely changed. Now let me tell you something, the one thing that hasn't, this is an interactive show, because I'm sure you're wondering now certain information that you would want, then by all means you get in touch with us, and of course we will respond at the earliest convenience. But definitely any comments or questions that you have, this is your platform, so it can be answered. If you've got the question, somebody else will have it as well. So as Rhoda said, of course, Online Learning Center in association with the Student Hub, that is what the topic is about today. And also, you know what, before we actually get underway with this, I always thought to myself, it comes down to one thing. It comes down to the fact that, since COVID, everything has sort of gone online. That is where the world finds itself. Exactly. So it is just a natural progression, isn't it?
Totally do. And I think, you know what, with technology changing the way it does, I think we needed to, and everybody needed to jump on board. And as you said, COVID at the end of the day kind of push that fast forward button to say,
Yeah.
look here, times is there, things have changed, technology is changing, the world is changing.
Yeah.
You know? So definitely.
Definitely. So now that you know what the topic is about, where are we? Well, we find ourselves in Goodwood, at the Goodwood campus. That is where we are. And our very first guest to tell us a little bit more about the campus and kind of give us a sense as well to what we're definitely going to be centering our conversation around is Mr. Clive Solomon, who is the campus manager. So, Clive, good day. Welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Good day to you.
How are you doing?
I'm doing excellently well. Yeah.
Nice,
Lovely,
nice.
Great to be here, and thank you for the invitation.
No, it is absolutely our pleasure. First things first, because we always talk about this. Whenever you arrive at a campus, you kind of get a sense of it, and this feels good. It's got that sense of good.
Okay, you don't only need to feel good. You know, at our strategic planning early in the year, my title was Removing Goodwood to Greatwood.
There we go.
We want the great next week.
Love it.
But it certainly is the case. So you, of course, exactly to people who might be wondering, they might have a sense where Goodwood is, but what is the physical address of the campus?
Goodwood is on the corner of Dirkie Ace and Merriman Streets in Goodwood. The location is easily accessible. If you come on the N1, you can take the turn off the M7 onto Jakes Gerwel, and then down Moulton Road, and then you get to Dirkie Ace. Straight down Dirkie Ace, you will find yourself at Goodwood campus.
Yeah, and it is easy to find, and I like the one fact as well, public transport and all of that, because these are the things we normally talk about. But today we're focusing on online, which is, you know, just shows how things have moved on. But in terms of the campus, what are the courses that that are being offered here? What are we looking at?
Yeah, Goodwood is of the 7 Northlink college campuses that we have. Goodwood is the smallest campus. Right, but as they say, dynamite comes in small packages.
I just think so.
So currently we are focusing on early childhood development.
Okay.
But we did receive some sad news earlier in the year from the department that they are phasing out our full-time program, EduCare.
Okay.
We're busy in a phasing out program, but at the same time, we have now introduced online learning. And that implies that all Northlink campuses that used to offer face-to-face part-time classes or distance learning, all of that now will be falling within the online learning division.
Okay. And so there's currently students within the online.
Yes, we started with trimester 1 and semester 1 for 2023.
Okay.
So there were still part-time classes at Tigerwork for part-time and at Wingfield campus for engineering studies. But as I said, from semester 2 and trimester 2, everything will be online.
Oh, okay. And when does that start? Because I always get confused. When does semester 2 and trimester, when do they start? Because
yeah, so trimester implies for a year every 4 months.
Every 4 months.
So we started in January.
Okay.
Semester implies two semesters, 6 months. It's 6 months.
yeah.
So we start in January and again in July for the semester. January was for trimester, first trimester, and then May month, and then again in September month.
I'm just asking because Rhoda wanted to know.
You need to know your maths in order to do that calculation.
So in actual fact, they're taking away the distant learning and the part-time learning at this point, and everything is being moved online.
Online. Now
Okay.
we have to get used to it. I think
Yeah.
online learning is the future.
The future.
Right?
Yeah.
Many people are afraid. I was just thinking now before we started, you know, we've done online in different ways in our personal lives. Your banking.
Yeah.
You just do an EFT. You don't need to go stand in the bank to withdraw money or to make a deposit.
True.
So yeah, in certain respects, we have been doing online things already. And especially for our young people, I think it's a great opportunity. You know, some of our young people, if I take Goodwood campus for example, a lot of our students come from the outlying areas on the Cape Flats. And transport is also a problem. If there's a taxi strike, you can have like 10% attendance for a day.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, online learning is what it is needed to create more access. That is our vision, to create more access to education for students in order for them to achieve a qualification and enhance their employability. At the end of the day, it's about employability.
Yeah.
I can tell you now that according to research, the NEET group that exists in South Africa amongst young people. NEET stands for not in education, employment or training. Is about 34%. 34% of young people falls within that NEET group. And we quite often wonder, why is crime escalating? You know, young people are bored, they've got nothing to do. Obviously, there are others who are going to use them to commit criminal acts. So we hope that by creating access to education, that many young people will make use of the opportunity, achieve a qualification and become employable. And once you become employable and you earn money, you can do something with your life.
And I'm sorry, Dougal. And I'm liking the fact that, obviously, because what's making me all excited about the fact is that they're saving on traveling costs, because you're basically at home. So you don't have to get into a taxi, you don't have to take public transport. And yet you're getting your degree or your qualification, and you actually can go and apply for work.
Yeah, the only thing with online, especially for young people, it requires a lot of discipline.
I was just going to say, yeah.
If you are going to have an online class at 7 o'clock tonight, you must ensure that you are there 7 o'clock. But you will be monitored. We're working with a third party known as the Student Hub.
Yes.
And the Student Hub is an organization who they are already working with, I think, about 8 to 10 different TVET colleges nationally.
Oh, wow.
So, this is a platform that they are using. They will monitor the attendance of students. And they will give a monthly report to the head of department of online learning. And then we will follow up with the students why they are not attending classes or doing their activities.
Just getting back to what you said earlier, because you said obviously the students that are enrolled, they come from various outlying areas. Now, as soon as something is online, that means geographically it doesn't matter where you are, you can now be part of this. And that is a super convenient, because mom and dad and whoever is watching are thinking, I really want to go to Northlink, but you know, it's a distance to cover, might be in a different province or wherever you are. I mean, people can watch us across the globe right now. So all of a sudden that gives everybody access to the facilities here, and I mean to the courses at least. Now I want to ask you quickly, before we talk about the Student Hub, the type of programs. Now we're talking here for all distance, right? So you part-time, online, all of that now, is that taking place?
All of that is taking place within the online learning division. Right?
Okay.
So if you've done distance learning before, it's now online.
All right.
The major difference for me between distance learning and online is distance learning, the student has been working on his own.
Yeah.
But now we are going to have online contact sessions for the students, at least 12 for business studies and 11 for engineering studies.
Oh, wow.
So that opportunity has been created, because sometimes the distance learning students, they struggle, but they wouldn't reach out to the tutor, or they reach out too late. But every week there will be scheduled contact sessions for the students.
Okay.
So they will be up to date in terms of their studies.
All right.
And then obviously, how did this all come about? Was it, I mean, I'm thinking COVID, or what was the reasoning obviously for you guys to be shifting that way, for Northlink to be shifting that way?
Yeah, it's a very good question that you are asking, and it takes me back to 2019. You know, when we had our strategic planning session, the executive management asked of campus managers to do a 5-minute presentation on their campuses.
Okay.
Because they wanted to see a light bulb moment that they can latch on, and we run with that idea. So most of the campus managers were speaking about the programs they're offering and new programs and some changes they want to do. At that time, Goodwood campus were doing the distance learning studies.
Okay.
And because of that, I chose to speak about the digitization, or some people speak about the digitalization of education, right? And the whole outlay, and my last visual to the audience that there was a cartoon of a pilot, people sitting in the plane, and the pilot making an announcement. I am your pilot, Mr. Jones. I'll be working from home today, right? So that in itself is an eye-opener, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we are speaking about self-driving cars in the future,
So
and many people won't believe it today. But I guarantee in 5 years' time, you may be driving with a self-driving car.
Yeah.
True.
That is where we're going. So now sorry.
Yeah. So that is what I call, that is where the vision was birthed, to do this online learning, right? And it was dormant for 3 years until we got a new CEO, Mr. Brian P.K. And through Mr. Brian P.K., we were blessed in a sense that we got some funding, and we had to decide what we were going to do with the funding. And they were looking for a campus where they can do this online learning studies. And I said, Goodwood campus is there. We're phasing out educare, and that's why we got the favor, and that's why we're sitting here today.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. So you had vision prior to COVID even. So I must
Yeah,
take my hat off for
if there's
that.
no vision, the people will perish. So we want our youth who are unemployed out there to come and do the online studies here at Goodwood campus and achieve that qualification that will make them employable.
And that is ultimately what it is. That is ultimately what it is about.
And it spans different fields of learning, whether it's mechanical engineering or electrical engineering or NCV studies even, which is a year program. So if a student failed last year 2 subjects, and then they can do it via online learning to complete the qualification.
And also, I mean, in terms of a campus is only that big, so you can only accommodate X amount of students, physically attending. And with online, it changes the ball game.
Totally.
Do you, best of your knowledge, do you have any idea how many students are enrolled?
For this year.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we don't go by enrollment of students, because some students enroll for 2 subjects, others enroll just for the 1 to complete the qualification. So we had just over 900 subject entries.
Okay, and that's for online?
That's for online only.
Wow.
And it's only the beginning. You must remember, Tigerberg was still doing the part-time studies, and they have a huge enrollment for part-time studies. So all those students will now come over to Goodwood campus for online. The same with Wingfield's part-time and distance learning. Everybody will be registering here in future.
Yeah, oh, beautiful. So before we bring in our next guest, is there any final comments from your side, Mr. Solomon?
Yeah, I think we need to put this whole online thing in perspective. Because the former president of South Africa, Nelson Mandela, said that education is the most powerful tool to change the world.
Wow.
And we are saying to the young people, make use of this tool that we are putting into your hands. Come and study at Northlink College, Goodwood campus. And we will certainly take you from good to great. Obviously, you have to play your part. We will play our part, but play your part, and you are going to achieve that qualification so that you can get a job that you have been dreaming for so many years.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Solomon.
Thank you, Mr.
We couldn't have put it that better, but there you have it. And that is what it's all about. Ultimately, it is about being employable as well. So it's really great to get a sense from the campus manager at the Goodwood campus, of course. So there you have it. It is all going online, of course. Many courses will be introduced within a due course, which is ultimately what it is all about. But you kind of really got a sense about it. And there's a couple of things that he mentioned, Rhoda.
Yeah.
The first one, it goes around to you as a prospective student about being employable.
Exactly.
Starting things off. So very simply put, man, this is dream architects. I mean, you got to play your part.
Definitely.
But, you got to do your bit. But that is what it's about. It's about being employable, and the opportunity is there. And now with online, the scope has just gone absolutely bigger. More importantly, it takes away all excuses. This is the important thing.
There's no excuses.
Now, he did mention, of course, this is happening in collaboration with the Student Hub as well, which we're quite keen to find out. So we're trying to give you all the angles here on exactly what this is happening. So joining us next is Marina de Bruin, who is the head of department. Marina, hello.
Welcome, welcome.
How are you?
Thank you so much. I'm very well, thank you, and I'm excited to share what we are doing here. At
Beautiful.
So
Excellent.
we want to get from you an overview, a planning about all of this online and student hub. It's student hub.
The Student Hub.
So
Yeah.
we have the acronym TSH.
TSH. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And that's commonly used.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Use it.
Okay,
No.
so we know what that
From
is.
them.
So this all began beginning of this year, January 2023.
Yes, yes. So we were instructed that we have to start with the Student Hub, with the online learning, and the Student Hub, they started already in August last year. Where
Okay.
all the conversations happened, you know, where all the important people had conversations. And then what we decided, so we heard that we needed to start on the 8th of February, or the 1st of February actually, starting with classes. So it was quite a bit of a challenge because in that time the load shedding went worse and we had some challenges with the registration, but we were very lucky and we were able to work with the Student Hub, and they're very helpful. So they come in and they assist us. They bring in a student advisor to help the students, and he's situated on the campus. They also, what they do is they bring in, they have student support services. So if a student has a problem, they will also help him. Now, if I just can explain to you, the Student Hub is almost like a Facebook page. So it's just a platform, and what they do is when we say we want to offer logic systems in 4, what they do is they have an ebook. So they put the ebook on this platform, and then they link the tutor that we've appointed on the platform, and then they link the students to that. That's how they start that platform for that subject.
Okay, so they're connecting basically the student to the tutor. This is what they're doing, that link.
Yes.
Oh,
And so that's what helps then is they take over all the communication. So the student is the lecturer will speak to the student, the tutor will speak to the student, and the student can speak to the lecturer or the tutor.
Wow.
And I have oversight. So as a supervisor, I can also see how many times my tutor was online, and if there are any problems, I can also then jump in and assist the tutor if there's something that's not going well.
Okay.
Powerful.
Wow. Sounds fairly easy.
Yeah, if you know the system.
You know this, I was going to say, obviously there has to be lots of training where that is concerned, so
Yes,
before you can even jump into it. And obviously now, who are the drivers of your center now, of your online program? Who's your people?
My people, we have been able to appoint an amount of amazing tutors. We have over 52 tutors just for the online this semester and trimester. And it's something like 820 or 82 subjects or something like that, not 820. And so what we have to, so we had to train them because a good amount of them were older. If I say all the existing tutors, so suddenly they had to learn how to be online and how to navigate the Student Hub and also how to communicate with the students. So, and we realized, but we can't stay and tell them to come and write a test on campus. We can't do the distance learning situation. Now we had some challenges and things happened that we didn't know how to go about. So we were struggling with communication and things like that. And then what we had to do was to say, okay, what other things can we bring in? So our tutors were amazing in saying, okay, Google Classroom, Moodle, Teams, WhatsApp, email. So we were really just trying to get connected to the students with the tutors.
With the tutors.
Yeah.
And you, sorry.
Yeah, no,
no, I was just going to say, and staff, obviously that's your tutors,
Yeah.
your staff basically, obviously, because I mean, that's your back end, is obviously had to get all of this going as well.
Yes,
So
yes.
Your staff, talk about them a bit.
We have now 2 amazing admin staff members, and Miss Adams and Miss Prince has been, you cannot believe what work they have to do. And then we had our Assistant Director for Academic Services, Ms. Dr. Cosette, and Ms. Mikael Passman were the two people that then took over for me, because trying to navigate the students and to navigate the tutors were a little bit challenging.
Yeah.
So they took on the training of each one of the tutors, of the technical aspects, so, and bringing in documents and bringing in ways that people can do. How do you upload your marks? How do you upload the documents? Because some of us don't always know how to do that. So people were stretched.
I got to tell you, and I find it refreshing, because sometimes we sold on doing something, but the mere fact that you say, listen, man, for everybody moving here together at the same time, you know, it is something that you got to work on. Now, what I do have is I've got a question for you, and I'm going to pose you the question regarding for a viewer quickly, and hopefully you could do this for me as well. So the question, thank you very much for this as well. It says, when is it going to be active? Is this also for international students doing building and civil construction, height, width, and all of that? So whatever you have on that. So I think I got the gist of it. But that is the question. So when is it all happening? And obviously for that speciality field.
So we are already busy with civil and building.
Okay.
The big challenge is, so the online is, our big challenge is the Department of Higher Education.
Okay.
So we can do all the assessments, so assessment 1, 2 for the engineering studies, but then the final examination, the national examination, must be written on campus.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a challenge. So at this stage, if people can, if they are able to come in to come and write at this stage still, we can, the rest of the assessments we don't have to do on campus. So,
but it's that big final exam.
The final exam.
but we will work on that. We will work on that.
Yeah. And also when it comes to the practicality of things, certain things you physically need to do.
Yes. Now we definitely have to collaborate with the Department of Higher Education, and I think they're getting excited. And I think the more, we haven't had our launch because we said,
I was just gonna say.
yes, because you see, we were planning on this little control group of about 300 subject entries, and then we're going to iron out all the problems, and then we're going to say, now we're ready, and then it didn't happen like that. And then it was over 900.
Threefold.
Yeah,
Wow.
so it was a little bit of a bang. So it's not the Big Bang Theory, but it was a big bang.
But that is certainly, I mean, that is a considerably more,
Yes.
which speaks to a lot of things. First, the height of that, and that the convenience around it.
Yes.
Because obviously, if you're an international student, you could be.
And we would love to have them. So we are in the process with the conversations. What our biggest role at the moment is for this year, my dream is that we can get all the subjects, especially the more occupational subjects, also involved in the
Program as well.
Sure,
Okay.
sure. I'm loving everything about it, because I'm thinking just from, you know, just to move the topic here, I'm just thinking from in terms of a cost saving effect. And especially if you are, you know, we're looking at multiple deprivation. You know, earlier Mr. Solomon was talking about the percentages of young people who don't have access to all of this. So when we talk multiple deprivation, you know, it's because you're geographically challenged. You're living very far from a major metro or where the college is or anything like that. So this is really interesting, and the stuff that is happening here in Northlink is really, really cutting edge. It is really on the forefront. It is pioneering. I mean, this is, you should change the slogan to Dream Architects, because that's what's, that is really what is happening here, isn't it? That is what I like. So there is so much to talk about. Now, we've touched on some of the challenges that you have. How would you, I actually want to, because I know you said it, how it looks, and I wanted to talk to you about Student Hub as well. But now, so quickly, so what am I looking at? If I'm looking at a PC screen as the student, what am I looking at? I see the lecturer, the video feed of a lecturer.
Yeah.
Do I see other students as well attending?
You can see who's also in your class. So usually it's dormant. So if the lecturer then she will have a video call. She can do a video call. I'm saying she now.
Yeah.
So, but the lecturer would do. She can upload all the documents onto the platform. And the students can also do their assignments and upload it onto the platform.
Okay.
At the moment, we've done it because we had some little bit of issues of it was a bit too big too soon. So the students did send theirs through WhatsApp or via email and things like that as well, those platforms. But the students were really, they were able to then do like peer mentoring as well for each other, you know, peer helping each other as well. And just something that I forgot to mention, or that that the student hub, the platform, is 0 rated. So
What does that mean?
that means that the student can, they don't have to use their data. You just need to be connected. I know it's Vodacom and MTN. I don't think it's.
So this is what we would call data free, if I can use
Yeah,
that
there's
term
some of
very
the
loosely.
companies that can't, that's not on yet, but it's been amazing. Yeah.
I was just going to say, I mean, that
Wow.
was one of my questions I was going to ask, because obviously this is one of the challenges
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
you're sitting with, just for the, obviously for them to get that information. So, okay, you know, that makes
And
a lot
then
of sense.
we would like, we're in the process now of having 2 labs similar to this one, that we will be able to have available for the students to come in and come and work here. And the student hub, that student advisor is then sitting in this lab, and so he can immediately assist the students to if they have any problem with uploading. They even have they're working with our student support services. So if there's a student with a problem or a crisis, they can connect with the student advisor, and he will then connect with one of our academic support facilitators or a
Oh,
counselor.
wow. Oh, wow.
I
So-
actually
It's quite
experienced it last night when we had a test done here. A student said, I'm not coping, I'm struggling, I don't know how to study. And I was able this morning already to refer it to the student advisor, so facilitate.
Wow.
And obviously the hub, it's I'm just thinking of a student side, because you're getting trained basically by the student hub. So the same with the student is obviously extremely user friendly. So,
So, but we also have to train the students. So what we
Okay.
do is during the week after registration. So we're planning now for T2.
yeah,
The
next
second trimester.
trimester.
And so the first week is registration, but then the second week we invite the students to come here. Because we don't have them to come here all the time, but we invite them to come here to do the orientation, to
Yeah.
get them, so the student helps us with that, and then we also do a virtual training for the students that's not able to come in.
Oh,
Wow.
I'm loving this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, but the student app sounds really cool. It sounds really, really amazing. This sounds so. I mean, they like the leading service provider on this sort of things, aren't they?
Yeah, I think at this stage, the one that we know of,
Yeah.
so they help.
Wow. I like the student app. Student app sounds really cool. And on this thing, I mean, because the one thing being in a class is, you know, sometimes you have a question, you don't want to put your hand up. And let's be honest, we're all human. I mean, we all like that, you know. I want to ask a question, but I don't want to put up my hand, you know. And we know people, we get taught our whole lives, there's no such thing as a dumb question. Can I do that if I have a question and I don't want the others to see? A personal question where I want to ask the tutor, the lecturer, I don't want the rest of the class.
Yes.
I could do that.
So how it works is with the virtual session, you are, because that's also a way that the tutor can gauge that you are involved. So asking that question, so the student you do it directly to the tutor, or you do it in the group.
In the
You can do
group.
it in the group.
In the group forum.
Forum as well.
Okay. So how does it work now for intake of students, the registration? What are the cutoffs? What do I need? Firstly, what are the
need? Yeah.
requirements?
Yeah.
Depending on business studies, it would be because at this stage report 191, which would start on the 17th of July, that will be the matric. So you need to have a matric. So it will be your documentation that you need to have will probably be your ID and your matric certificate, and then also proof of address. That is used. We also have now an online application service.
That's right.
So they can on the website they are welcome to go and apply online, and then they upload those documents already onto the site there. So they don't even have to bring it here. For the trimester intake, it will be on the 16th of May is their first intake, but they can apply now, and then the registration will happen.
Okay.
Now, assume we live in a perfect world. Assume everything is hunky-dory. I complete an online application, how long does it take? Because
Immediately.
Oh, wow.
I mean, name ID, these sort of things, that require documents like what you've mentioned, and maybe one or two others if there's. That's it. I'm not going to be sitting there for 2 hours.
No.
Oh, wow.
I think it's about 10 minutes or 15 minutes, depending on how good you are with the computers. You need to be able to.
Yeah, fair enough.
Then just
Yeah,
get
fair
someone
enough.
to help you.
Yeah.
You know, just we also do realize that people are struggling a little bit, so we help them. It's a way that we are helping people to also be more computer literate. So we realize that we're going to help you with that.
So obviously with the registration, I mean, we've done a few campuses now as well, because each campus got different requirements as such. So obviously if you're going to be going online and you're going to be studying a certain field, say eventually I might do cosmetology also, then my requirements would be, if I want to do it online eventually, obviously that still will apply for what I need to study.
Yes,
so
exactly,
everything, okay,
exactly.
perfect.
So with the engineering as well, I know sometimes if people are not sure what they need to study, because that happens. You know, the business studies are more clear cut.
Exactly.
But with especially people who we are phasing out the N1 to N3
I believe so.
qualifications, but for online we are still available to do it for this year. Especially the N1 and N2 now, because we know that there are students that need that, and but we have subject matter experts to help them to make that decision. So on the website it will also give our information, our telephone number or the website or email addresses, so that we can give you some guidance, and they're welcome to come to the campus as well.
So there you go.
It's, you know what, it just sounds super fantastic. It sounds super easy, and once again, I love the fact that you say, look, we have challenges with this and this, and this is how we've overcome it, and this is where we're moving to. I mean, surely you must be excited, looking at what is to come, the way forward. This is going to be the blueprint for everybody.
Yeah. I think if we can start trimester 2 not the way that we started this one, and that we can just, but we've been putting things in place, and marketing has been helping, and all the departments are realizing that this is important.
Exactly.
We need to take care of this. This is almost their own campus. It is actually, but we are our own campus, but we are a campus with all the subjects, and that's it's big.
I was just going to say, it is big.
So it is very easy to do. If anybody wants more information, any questions that they would have, they can just visit Northlink's website.
Yes.
As simple as that. And then they'll have the dates of when application opens, closes.
Everything
is there. It is the simplest and most straightforward thing to do.
So true.
I'm questioned. I don't know if you, Marina, do you have any final thoughts?
I think I'm so excited. You know, just sitting here and realizing we're becoming the trendsetters for education. But it's not about being, because like we say, we're still in our baby shoes. But it's about helping our students to be employable, like Mr. Solomon said earlier. We really want our students to achieve those qualifications that they need. And you know, the one thing that I've picked up with the engineering studies is it's people that's been out of the system, out of schooling, education for a very long time, and then they need to qualify, and they need that education. They are more important almost for me. You know, they're the ones that I really want to say, hey, you can study. You can be successful. That lady last night that said, I'm struggling. Those are the ones that we really want to say, don't be scared. We have the tools in place. Yes, sometimes we take a little bit longer, but we are going to help you, and we want to help you.
Oh, beautiful. I love that.
I think, you know what, I think that it needs to be commended on many levels. We all know the world is flat at this stage. You know, something happens in any part of the world, we know about it instantaneously, but more also, life has got its own challenges now. You know, there's a reason why part-time has always been successful, because it gave you time to do other things. You know, people are at different stages of their lives. You know, they either have families or they work and all of this. Online changes the game.
Changes it.
Yeah.
The rules no longer exist.
Yeah.
The limitations are gone, and you guys are certainly paving the way in a hasty way. So, yeah. I don't know. Do you have anything else you want to ask?
No, I'm good. I'm good. Well done.
Marina, thank you so much for joining us, and we wish you all the best.
Oh, yeah.
Everything of the best, and thanks for coming on the Link Show.
Thank you so much for
totally.
Cool. Marina the Brain, everybody, HOD at the Goodwood campus. We're telling you, we're talking everything here on the Link Show, which is absolutely brilliant. So we've heard from Clive Solomon, who is the campus manager, of course, and gave us a very good sense about what is happening around the Goodwood campus. And of course, what is really, really important, because you heard there, it is about making you employable. Now, I know you're watching this. I know you are deciding what is the course that you're interested, what you really want to study. And I know these are difficult decisions.
Very difficult.
But all of a sudden, the decision isn't made that difficult. You can do things in the comfort of your home.
Yeah.
And I know there's so many questions that people have. Does it work? Or compare it to, let's say, physically attending class. Well, you thought we'd leave you hanging? No, we've gone to somebody who has gone through this.
Exactly.
All of this, who
All
is
of it.
part of this.
Yeah.
So joining us next is a tutor, student as well, Zikona Kanya. She's here. Hello, how are you?
Hi.
Are you good?
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for welcoming me. Thank you for the opportunity.
No,
Yeah.
thank you for
Beautiful,
coming.
thank
Listen,
you.
just thank you for agreeing to talk to us, firstly. Normally people want to talk to Rhoda, but not me. But let's get into it. So, because firstly, you were tutor.
Yes.
That's what, but you were former student.
Yes.
So here's the question, because this is the proof in the pudding
The
moment,
proof in the
right? This
pudding,
is really the
exactly.
proof in the pudding moment. Things have changed. It all started. So when you studied, let's leave the tutoring one side quickly. Okay, but wait, what do you tutor?
It's getting excited.
I tutor education.
Okay.
Yes, in 4.
All right. So, okay. Now, let's go. When you studied, was there online?
No.
Okay.
Nothing.
Yes. We're just checking because they said it started this year. No, we're double checking. We're fact checking now.
He's fact checked.
All right. So it wasn't. And it was a fantastic experience.
It was, even though I would say the online is much greater. There's no paperwork. I don't get to have all those papers. My assignment is lost, this is lost, I can't find it. Ma'am, can I get another one? So in this case with online, everything is uploaded for you. So every time you go on the Student Hub, everything is posted there for you. You can just download, click on it and see what is the next assignment. So that is what is nice about this.
You don't have to
platform.
carry around books and things.
No, nothing, literally nix.
Let me ask you this. If I have an assignment, and
Yeah.
I've 10 questions, I've managed to get to 4,
Yeah.
time for coffee break. Can I come back and do it? I go back to 5, it's going to load there, I don't have to start all over again?
You are in charge of that. So whenever you
that.
start with question 1, you can always come back. And continue with the assignment that you are doing. And also, while you're busy with the assignment, if you have a question that you're struggling with, you can always send a message to the tutor and say, ma'am, I'm struggling with this question. How do I come about to answer this question? So every time I get a message, what's nice is that you don't have to send with the email. Every time you send a message to me, even if I'm offline, I get a message in my phone popping up. There's a student who want to communicate with you. So I go in quickly online and see what's the student's question, and then I answer.
And is that done? You get an answer straight away?
Yes.
And because it happens that way, do you find that do you receive more questions now, being a tutor, a student?
Actually, not really. The problem that they struggling with was navigating around. Otherwise, everything is posted there. So you just go to this, you find this there and there. So no other questions you get. So it's actually much lesser than being in class, having this one raising up a hand, ma'am, this is this. So everything, they've got everything in detail. Also, we get to make videos that we can upload for them, so they can see what am I talking about in this module, what is the next module going to be about. So everything is posted all in there, and also they get to have quiz that they can answer and see how far are they getting with this module 1. So how are they doing? So I can also get to see if the student is still struggling in this module. On how they answer their questions, and then I can always get back to the student. Listen, don't you want to try more activities and see how this can put you far in answering this module?
Okay.
So yeah.
Because we heard earlier, Mr. Solomon, the campus manager, mentioned this as well. You got to play your part, so you got to attend. You got to be, you know, it is visible, like, you know, Googled and it was online. You can see it. It is clearly there. Marina was mentioning that as well. With the attendance online, because you know it's at scheduled times as well. So let's say it's 5 in the afternoon. I'm just making an example of time. If at that time, if there's a class or a lesson, then everybody ascends to it and you partake in it, and then the rest of the stuff you do at your own pace.
Yes.
So with all of that being created, the excuses of not studying, not trying to make yourself employable and achieving all of this, this is all gone.
This is all gone. For an example, I had this assessment that I wanted them to answer for us to be able to finish module 3. So whenever I see who was in the Student Hub online, who participated in this can tell me who was there, who actually did the activity. So who wasn't? Like for an example, I had to go for the Easters in Eastern Cape. So I was able to go in my phone and check. So who did the activity and who didn't? So immediately I send a message, listen, please do this. I want to see your work. And then everything went on.
So in actual fact, there can't be any students that they can slip through the cracks, because you'll see that crack immediately and like, oh, here's a problem.
Yes, yes. And also, if a student is unable, maybe you see the attendance is not going well, you are welcome to communicate with the student and speak to them, your attendance. And also, if you're seeing now the student is actually not active at all, so you refer to the Student Hub people, and then they communicate with the student and offer maybe a service to speak to them, like counseling and stuff like that, to find out what is the problem actually. So this is actually a very good platform for the students. So anyone, any age.
This is it.
Yes, this is it.
And it's easy. It's
very
usable.
easy. Very easy.
Because I mean, students are different ages, so I mean, you don't have to be, you know, super. Because that is a scary thing, isn't it? There might be a certain amount of people go, ooh, it's online. Ooh,
that's a good.
You know, I don't want to do that, but you know, it's pretty straightforward.
This is pretty straight. You get to track how far you've come in your modules. How far you're doing with this assessment, how far you're doing with this subject. So everything is there. So whenever your lecture is online, you can see the lecture is online. I can send in a question. The student are online, you can send in a question. Even if they're not online, they can always get the message. As we said, it's free. Vodacom, MTN, so they're getting a message anytime in their phones. So to say that the lecturer is trying to communicate with you.
And I'm going to talk basically like we are saying, you've been in the old, like I would say kind of the old school, the old way, and you're now obviously into the new world basically. Just looking at the two.
Apples and apples.
I mean, comparing the two and telling the students out there because you've been there, you've done that, worn the t-shirt. How do you find this now? Should have happened years ago?
I'll say this is the life.
This is the future.
If you are not part of it, you are missing it. So you better join now.
There we go.
This is an opportunity, like honestly, and also the students, if they having problems with the computers at home, they're more than welcome to come to the campus and use our resources to do their task.
As well.
Yeah.
And it's phone friendly?
Yes, very well. You can even
phones.
sit in your taxi and like looking what you're studying.
There we go.
So it's actually very nice.
So ultimately, what we want to ask you is, Zikona, the student of the other day, compared to if Zikona had to, how jealous are you?
Oh, I am very jealous. I am very jealous. I would say I would have, this is like everything in front of you, easy. You don't get to be nervous to ask, because some students get to feel nervous to ask questions in front of the whole class. So this is nice for you, the way you get to send a message to the lecturer, and even privately, it's up to you how you are willing to communicate.
Perfect.
You make it easy for yourself. So you can never say, I wasn't able to ask this question, because now the whole class was there. So this is the future.
You're making me excited.
It is absolutely brilliant. And I mean, you said it. There's no excuse. It is straightforward. It is easy to use. Things are accessible. Everything you need is there. Obviously, the numbers. You must be busy now with tutoring. It's gonna,
Yes.
it's gonna keep you busy. So, which is a good thing. Before we let you go, any final thoughts?
I would say, student, whether what age you, this is the platform for you. Go in this platform. You want to study, you are in Eastern Cape, you're in Gauteng, you can apply at Northlink. So you can just come in for the exam. That is it. This is actually the best platform. Join. Yeah.
There we go.
There you heard it. Zikona, thank you so much for coming on. Absolutely brilliant to talk to you. Thank you for your insights.
Thank you
Thank
for
you so
hosting
much.
me.
Oh, brilliant. Our pleasure.
Thank you.
There you heard it. So Zikona, former student and obviously a tutor as well. And of course, very, very much involved with the online platform and how everything is going here. So that gives you a proper sense of what it is all about. And ultimately, that is where your decision has to come in, and we're going to have to recap this, because you're going to have to weigh up all those options, because it is very simple when it comes to making a choice for tertiary institution. Now, we've said this on every Link episode, of course. It is really difficult to fault Northlink College. It is really difficult, and what has happened now with online in association with the Student Hub is trend setting has become. But let's not forget, in the last few years, this is where the world has happened. To quote Mr. Solomon, he said, we do our banking online. So surely we should, we met online, but you know what I mean. The point is, it is happening. The trends are being set. You've just got to do it. You've just got to do it. You've got no excuse, and it makes it accessible. So you've got to visit the website. That is what you've got to do. And I want to write this here. I don't forget, because you've got to visit the website, because all the details there.
Going on a screen as well. Contact there. You know what? Just give us Northlink a call.
It's very simple.
All the information.
Details are there, of course, so you just got to do it. But it was really helpful listening to Zikona as well, because ultimately I wanted to come on, man. Was a better, and you could see students have, and you could see it. So
Very in.
And also the programs about as well as what we. The thing is for you to just be. You will need the process, but you need to simply visit the website. Is that it?
That's
It certainly is. Treated. This is just really fantastic. That's about it. It's been here at the campus.
there we go.
Which is brilliant. The insight you need with the but it's just up to you. On Northlink's website, go to that website. The details at the bottom of your screen, as always. For myself, Goodwood and Rhoda, thank you for guest Clive Solomon, the HOD, head of department here as well. And we heard from Zikona Kanya students. He really get insights as well, which is until next time, look after around you, and we'll again on an installment of the Link. Like and share and go to Link's website. Cheers.
Thank you.